Prepare for reading. Last night in our homework, we read that Hilda and her family were off to a special event. What event were they going to, Allison?
The missionary picnic.
That's right. And at the missionary picnic, they took up an offering. And Hilda decided that she was going to give 2 pennies in the offering. How did Hilda feel when she gave her money in the offering? Mary?
Good.
That's right. She felt good because she was giving her money to the Lord. I hope you give money to Jesus so he can do things with that. He can help missionaries and do a bunch of other things with the money that we just give to him. Well, today we get to read what happens in the story. But before we do that, let's take a look at our board words on the board. Read my first word for me, Sarah.
Stub only.
Close, but you missed the special sound. So what special sound is this right here? Or in morning, that is correct. So reread my word.
Stubbornly.
Great job. Stubbornly is having a bad attitude. When somebody asks you to do something, you don't want to do it. You're stubborn. God doesn't like when we are stubborn. He wants us to have an attitude that's willing to fix things. Oh, I hope that you are not stubborn. Let's take a look at our next word. Read my word for me, Jessica.
Milling.
That's right. Milling means to move around in a crowd and to walk around. Class, stand and let's say our words. Stubbornly milling. Great job. You may be seated. Has someone ever done something wrong to you? Maybe it was on purpose, or maybe it was an accident. Well, sometimes things happen to us and we do have bad things that happen, but sometimes we don't act in the correct way. Today in our story, we're going to see how Hilda reacts when something goes wrong. We're going to be working on expression today, and I am looking to see who is going to earn stickers on their bookmarks, because remember that we are earning 100 stickers as a class so we can enjoy a day outside for reading. Pick up your books and open to page 85. Begin reading at the bottom where it says The Girls. Carly?
The girls took their plates to a grassy spot off by themselves. Just as Hilda was about to sit down, someone bumped her elbow. Her plate flew out of her hand and the contents landed on the grass. She cried out in dismay. Turning quickly, she saw Pete running off with a smirk on his face. "That Pete," she said hotly, with angry tears rushing to her eyes. He's the meanest boy in the whole world."
Great expression, Carly. We could tell that Hilda was not happy. Why was Hilda upset? Ashlyn?
Pete knocked her plate down.
That's right. She was not happy that Pete was unkind. We see that she called him the meanest boy in the world. Oh, that's not kind. Even when somebody does wrong to us, they do things that they're not supposed to. We have to be kind, and she wasn't. I hope when people do wrong things that we are still nice to them. Continue reading for us, Allison.
Louise tried to comfort her. "Take your plate and get in line again," she said. "Sure," agreed Marie. "The dogs can eat this stuff on the grass." Hilda shook her head. "No, I'll eat it myself," she said stubbornly.
Great job, Allison, with that expression. What was the better way for her to react? Mackenzie? Well, let's think about it. Did she act in the right way? Megan?
No.
What would have been a better way for her to react, Mackenzie?
To be kind?
That's right. She should have been kind, and she was not. Continue reading for us, Sarah.
"I don't want to go back in line."
Stop right there. Let's read this with more expression. Remember, it says she was stubbornly. That was our board work. So go back and read that with more expression.
"I don't want to go back in line."
Great job fixing it. Continue reading.
The girls helped her scoot up part of the food from the grass. Hilda ate a little, but she didn't enjoy it very much. She was so angry with Pete. He had to spoil everything, even the picnic. Let's go to the stands, suggested Louise. I want a Cracker Jack and some ice cream.
Great job, Alice and Sarah, for fixing that reading. Who was Hilda upset with, Abby?
Pete.
That's correct. Now we see that we have the word Cracker Jack. Cracker Jack is kind of like a caramel popcorn. Oh, it is so good. I wonder if you've ever had Cracker Jacks, maybe at a ballpark. If you haven't, you should try them. They are very good. Continue reading for us, Robin.
The girls returned their plates to the table and raced to the stands, where the men were cranking freezers to make ice cream. Hold on, shouted Mr. Peterson, who was cranking with all his might. It'll be a few minutes before it's ready. We'll wait, said Louise.
What were they waiting for, Sarah?
The ice cream.
Great job. Good job, Robin, on your expression. Now, they were waiting patiently. They weren't being in a hurry and saying, why isn't our food ready? No, they were waiting patiently. I hope we wait patiently when we are supposed to wait. That is a good thing for us to do, is to be patient. Pick up reading for us, Daisy.
Hilda pulled her hanky out of her pocket and carefully took out 3 pennies. That's how much an ice cream cone costs. Others crowded around the stand. John and Nils came, and some of the other boys. Hilda stiffened when she saw Pete milling around with the rest.
Great job, Daisy. Now, it says that Hilda stiffened. Why do you think Hilda stiffened, Carly? Well, let's think. Who was there that she did not like? Carly?
Pete?
That's right. She did not like Pete, and that is why she was stiffening. She didn't want him to be around. We also see our board word that tells us milling he was just in the crowd. Continue to read for us, Jessica.
He pushes Ray up to the front where the girls were waiting. You can't crowd into the line, said Louise crossly. Who says I can't, he retorted. Hilda bit her lip to keep from saying something nasty. Why did Pete have to come to the picnic anyway? The picnic would be perfect if it weren't for him.
Good job at the first part, Jessica, but on the second part where it says, why did Pete? Let's go back and try that again and use a little more expression. Remember that she's mad, so show me that in your voice.
Why did Pete have to come to the picnic anyway? The picnic would have been perfect if it weren't for him.
That is a great job fixing that, Jessica. Why would she be mad at Pete and not want him to come, Allison?
Because she dropped her plate.
That's right. And Pete had not been nice to her in the rest of our story, so she was mad, but she wasn't being kind to Pete at all. Continue reading for us, Abby.
At last, the ice cream was ready. As Hilda licked the cold, sweet, creamy goodness, she thought she had never tasted anything so delicious in her life. While she ate her ice cream, she didn't even think about Pete and his drinks. Let's get a Cracker Jack, said Louise when they had finished their ice cream. Or would you rather have candy?
Great job, Abby. That was beautiful expression. You earn a sticker for your bookmark. Now, what treat were they waiting for? Besides ice cream, what was the other treat that they were waiting for, Abby?
Cracker Jack?
That's right. They were wanting those yummy caramel popcorn. Continue reading for us, Dorcas.
Both, answered Hilda with a laugh. If I have enough pennies left, she added. She reached for the knotted hanky in her pocket. Suddenly, she felt sick. It wasn't there. What's wrong? Asked Louise, noticing Hilda's stricken face. My money. It's gone, gasped Hilda. Are you sure? Look in both pockets. I did. It isn't here.
Oh, great expression, Dorcas. We could tell that something was wrong. Why was she upset, Hallie?
Because her money was missing.
That's right. She wanted that treat and she could not find it. Let's see what happens. Continue reading for us, Alma.
Let's go back to the ice cream stand. Maybe you dropped it after you paid for your ice cream. The girls hurried over to the stand where a group of people were waiting in line for ice cream. Mr. Peterson was filling cones. Hilda felt like crying. How could she look for her lost money when so many people were milling around by the stand? She couldn't tell them all to get out of the way so she could look.
All right, great job, Alma. Let's go back and finish that last sentence and read it a little smoother for us.
She couldn't tell them all to get out of the way so she could look.
Great work on fixing that for us. Why could they not find the money? What was the problem, Court?
There were too many people.
That's right. There were so many people in the crowd, they could not find them. Continue reading for us, Leanne.
Tears rushed to Hilda's eyes so
Oh,
she
that's
could...
not where we are at. Help her out, Allison.
Come on, Louise, she said, grabbing her friend's hand. It's no use.
Great job, Alma. Pick up for us.
Tears rushed to Hilda's eyes so she couldn't see well. Angrily, she brushed them away. She couldn't let all these people see her cry for anything. Suddenly, she spied a Cracker Jack. Suddenly, she spied John.
Just stop. Try that sentence again.
Suddenly, she spied John busily devouring the contents of the Cracker Jack box. Walking back to where...
No, not quite. Continue reading for us, Allison.
Come on, Louise, she said. I'm going to tell John.
Great job. Why did she want to tell John, Carly? Remember, John was her what?
Brother.
That's right, he was, and she probably thought that he could help her. Let's see what happens. Continue reading for us.
John seemed sorry that Hilda had lost her money. I'll go look, he said. I'm not afraid to ask the people to move. Hilda watched anxiously as John searched all around the ice cream stand. He even asked Mr. Peterson if someone had turned in a hanky with 5 pennies in it. Nobody had. John shook his head as he joined the girls. It's not anywhere around, he said. You know what I think? Somebody stole it. Bet it was Pete.
Great job with that reading. You earned a star for our bookmarks. Now, why did you think she thought Pete took the money, Hallie?
Because he was mean.
That's right. She was blaming him. That's not right for us to blame. She didn't know that Pete took it. And actually it says John. John was blaming Pete. And that was not nice of John. We'll see down here, Hilda thinks that Pete did it too. Continue reading for us, Kelsey.
Hilda remembered that Pete had been crowding to the front when she opened her hanky to get out the pennies for the ice cream. Would he do such a terrible thing to steal my pennies? She asked. Pete would do anything, piped up Louise. He's still mad about the way you jumped on him when he was beating up John. John scowled and
That's great job reading, Kelsey. You did a fantastic job with that. Is it right for them to blame Kelsey?
No.
It is not right for them to blame. Continue reading for us, Court.
John scowled and turned away. He didn't like to be reminded of that. Nels came running towards him. Come on, John, he said. They're going to have races. Let's be partners in the 3-legged one. All right, said John. He started to go with Nels and stopped. Wait a minute, he said. Walking back to where Hilda and Louise still stood in mournful silence, he put his hands in his pocket.
Great job. That was wonderful expression. Now, why did you think that they were sad, Kelsey?
Because John left them and he was trying to help them find the money.
Right. They say here that they were in mournful sadness. Mournful means dreadful, not very happy. They were mournful. Silence. That's how we know that they were sad. Continue reading for us, Cindy.
Here, he said, handing Hilda 3 pennies. You can buy Cracker Jack. Hilda was too surprised to answer. John sharing his precious pennies with her? She could hardly believe it. She watched him run off with Nels. What are we waiting for? Asked Louise. Let's go get a Cracker Jack and we can eat it while we watch the races.
Great job. Why was John so nice, Carly?
Because he felt bad that she lost her pennies.
So what did John do?
Gave her his pennies.
That's right, and that was a kind thing for John to do. He didn't have to do that, but he was kind. Continue reading for us, Ashlyn.
Hilda shook her head. Not me, she said. I'm going to get another ice cream cone. The girls ran joyfully to the stand. Hilda was so happy she felt like flying. It wasn't only because she could have some more delicious ice cream, but it was also because she had such a nice brother. When she got home, she was going to climb her maple tree and say a special thank you to God.
Great job. Why was she thankful, Mackenzie?
Because her brother gave her the money.
That's right. She was thankful for her brother, John. Are we thankful when people be kind to us? I hope we are. I hope we thank God for those people who do things for us that are nice. They don't have to be kind. It might be a mother or father. It might be a sibling, but I hope that we are kind. Why was Hilda mad at Pete in the beginning of our story, Alma?
Because he knocked her plate down.
That's right. But is it nice to be kind? Is it nice to be mean?
No.
It is not. Now, we see here that we learned how it was nice, how we should be kind, how we should be thankful to other people. And tonight, in our story, we're going to see what happens when visitors come.